Welcome everybody. Tonight's talk is about what your life purpose is. A lot of people ask or wonder, what is my life purpose? Well, generally, from my own experience and from my knowledge and what I've learned, is our life purpose comes from something that brings us joy, something that brings out our talents or things that we like to do. And when we realize that our life purpose is something that actually is innate in us, and it's something that we like to do, we can work as a catalyst to put this into place. We live in an era and time where we're getting out of the mainstream of regular work. With COVID and everything else, and with the wonderful wayshowers out there, Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and Mary Morrison and all those folks are saying, hey folks, you don't have to suffer in a 9-to-5 job that you're not happy in. What do you like to do? What is bringing you joy? What do you know that you want to share with others? And this is what we have to put into our thinking now, and especially with COVID, because people are even more realizing, like, I don't want to do 8 o'clock on the bus in the morning and come home at 8 o'clock at night and see my kids for a little bit and miss all the great, wonderful things and shove them in daycare. This is a time that we really can change our world, and we can make, everybody can work together to help each other. We'll have more joyful people if people are doing what they love to do. Do what you love and everything else follows. And what happens to us is we put all the no's into our thinking on it. Well, there's a lot of artists out there. I'm not that great. Or I can remember, I'm not a trained artist, but I have done murals and I have done different things in people's houses, and I now am a spirit artist and I do spirit cards. Where did that come from? It came from when I was a little girl, and I would sit and draw people's faces with their eyes, and I loved to do it as a little girl. And I remember my grandmother saying to me, Kathleen, you draw well. And she even put me on a weekend, she put me in this painter's class or something. And I was a little intimidated because I never saw anybody nude, and they had nude statues and things like that. And it was like, oh my God, where am I? And I kind of got frozen the track on that, being real strong Catholic. But I did learn a little basic colors. But that's about it. And I can remember her saying that accentuate on what you're gifted with. So that's what we all have to do. What is your gift? Yes, say if you like photography. Well, yeah, there's 1,000 photographers out there, and there's new technology and everything, but it's you. And it's what you capture that counts. Okay? It comes from source and within you. And you can sit with spirit. For those who have knowledge that our guides and those on the spirit side can give us and intuit to us a way to take our gifts and put them out there in the world. And it's very important not to compare yourself to another, not to look at another person's art and say to yourself, I can't pull that off. Or not to look at somebody else's photography and say, oh my God, how did they do that? I'll never be able to do that. And it all turns, most of everything in life, in one of our talks, was about self-esteem. It's our own lack of self-esteem and our own lack of knowing that we can produce something and having faith in that stops many things in our lives. And it's a sad day when we have so many people that are multi-talented, that are doing work that they don't even love, and they're out there, sort of putting themselves into dire stress, themselves and their family. It's like, the story, if somebody's unhappy, they come home and they yell at the wife, or the wife yells at the husband, either or, and then the dog chases the cat, and the cat chases the mouse, and it goes on and on. And it is that way in our world when there is an energy of disappointment and of strife. We need to all sit and reflect, and we need to start working with each other and caring enough for each other and become more communities. When we're more communities, we're going to inspire somebody that has a talent. Wonder if in your neighborhood you had a carpenter, and you had your little neighborhood, and everybody needs a carpenter, right? but then you are somebody that can watch kids and likes watching kids. So you start helping the carpenter by watching their kids, and then there's somebody else that's cooking, and somebody else that, and we can all share our gifts with each other. And this is the world that we can start moving into. Start working. When I lived in California, and you see more of that in California, there was a lot of communities and people that were all helping each other out. And we shouldn't have to move to California to have this. We can do this in Massachusetts. We can do this all around the states. We need to form a group of people that would inspire each other and help each other with their talents, because we all came here for a purpose. We all came here with gifts, and we all can utilize our gifts. And even just inspiring somebody to utilize their gifts inspire you. So there might be where you're a coach and you like to inspire people, you like to empower people. These are things to look at. If you find joy in just being, well, you're a wonderful person to be around, because you're always going to be in that joy. So when the people are, their energy's low or anything, you can come and inspire them and give them hope, And so everybody likes to do something, and everybody has a gift. And it's a matter of taking the time and utilizing what Spirit has given you, what your God-given talents are, and you can actually make work out of it. I'll never forget one time at a fair, I had given a reading to this one woman, and she was really, really down. And I felt it. I felt her pain and her disappointment. And she had lost her mother, and she just felt so traught, and she didn't feel like she had much to do. I don't know if she was let go of a job that she really didn't like. I can't remember the whole story. But we talked, and I said, well, Spirit gave me the idea of like candles or soap, and it just came out, and she goes, oh, I'd love to make soap. And I said, well, did you ever think of making soap? Maybe you could do this, as if it's coming in and you love doing it, maybe that's something you can look into. Well, that was, the end of my time with her. A year later, this woman sits in front of me, and I knew she looked familiar, but not exactly like I remember her. And she said, do you remember me, Kathleen? And I looked, I said, you look awful familiar. And she puts right in front of me, she puts a blueberry pie made out of soap. Okay, and she started her company. And she looked so wonderful. She had her whole life turned around. Because she took the chance. She took the chance, and she took the time to put her energy into what she loved to do, and everything else follows. So when you have a thought, and then you put image to it, and then you make the extension out that you're going to put it together, it follows through it. You manifest it. That's what manifesting is. And they say that we have the ability to, with the imagination, and with that imagination, putting it out there, and seeing it and being in that imagination produces the manifestation. Ask and it's given. See it, believe in it, and it's so. And so this is the time we're all being challenged. And I know it's a difficult time. Reach out. Look to people that are inspiring. Look at the YouTube with Tony Robbins and Dean Grazione and all these people, Mary Morrissey. They're telling us, Bob Proctor, they're telling us, guys, you can have a better life. Yeah, you're going to have to take a chance. Yeah, you're going to have to take a risk. But it's in that time. See, nothing changes till we make that change. If we're used to something, we have to take a step up. And that step up is not going to feel familiar. So there's where the fear comes in. When something's like, oh gosh, I can't do that. I can't risk taking this risk and not have everything all settled in my life. And, it's at that time of taking a risk. We have to take the risks. So many people look at Oprah, how many times that she wanted to be on TV, and then everybody said no, and then she finally, look where she is today. Look at all the famous people that were, at first try, they didn't make it. but they kept on persevering, and that's what it's about. So a new day is coming, a day that we can look at what brings me joy, what is my purpose, and there can I make a living out of it. And if you make a living out of what you enjoy doing, then life is good, isn't it? Because the work doesn't seem so much like work. It's a joy to go to work. It's a joy. And so look to those that are inspiring. Look to situations that you feel drawn to, and your intuition is kind of telling you, you know, you might want to take this opportunity that's in front of you. So this is a time for us all to awaken. It is a time where we're being challenged to switch things around. People are now deciding, I really like staying home and working from home. And companies are now saying it's okay, but we would have never been able to get there if this didn't happen. That's why under every tragedy or a catastrophe that happens, there is the golden nugget in the middle. There is always something that is going to replace it. So this is the time. Think about what brings you joy and find your purpose. God's blessings.